Hey, welcome back to the JK Moto Entertainment channel. Welcome back once again to Stable B, our favorite place. We are back for another discussion topic today. If you are not familiar with those, you should definitely go check out the playlist. Speaking of that, while you're down checking out the playlist, go ahead and throw a subscribe on the channel. It's worth it, I promise. But anyway, today we're going to talk about something important, and that is rotational mass, and very specifically how your chain and sprockets are affecting it. Now, I've talked about chain and sprockets before on this channel. If you're interested in that video, please go check it out. I'll have it linked up here. Today, we're not going to talk about a sprocket changeout. I'm not going to talk about sprockets too much, but we're specifically going to focus on rotational mass and how that is affecting your motorcycle. So stick around for the video, throw a like on the video. If you have any questions or comments throughout, please leave those down below so that everyone can see them. And so maybe I can answer them or other people can also answer them. People that are maybe a little more expert than me. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the video. I feel a little better now, a little less short. It's so short. Anyway, so I said we're going to talk about chains and we're going to talk about sprockets and less about sprockets, but like I mentioned before, specifically we're going to talk about rotational mass and how that affects your motorcycle. Now, when I talk about rotational mass, if you look right behind me right here, you'll see a wheel, a back wheel. I don't know of any like official all-wheel drive motorcycles, all-wheel being two-wheel drive, meaning the front and the back are both rotated by the engine. If somebody in the audience knows about one of those or has built one or seen one or something like that, please let me know. I'm very interested to see the mechanics behind that. But most of the motorcycles that we know about are in fact rear-wheel drive, single-wheel drive. And on the back of that wheel, you'll find something like this, a rear sprocket. Up connected to the engine, you'll find something like this, a front sprocket. These are often made of steel, that's why you'll see a little bit of rust in this one. It's very old, it's been sitting around for a while. These are also often made of steel, but sometimes they're not. And this one, in fact, is not. And you'll see that there are many holes in this all the way around. And that's kind of gonna go into the rotational mass conversation. Let me drop my sprocket that we're gonna have today. So rotational mass, we're talking about this back wheel on a motorcycle. That wheel, in order to make your motorcycle go, has to turn. Spinny spin. Has to spin. In order for that wheel to spin, your engine has to turn it. Or the ground underneath you has to turn it. Both of which will have an effect on the motorcycle. The important part here, and the reason we're going to talk about rotational mass, is that the correlation between rotational mass and speed of the motorcycle, or almost really the horsepower of the motorcycle is the way I like to think about it, are directly related. Less of this means more horsepower. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to get more horsepower on the dyno, but it does mean that your bike is going to be able to move the back wheel more easily. It's going to be less work for that bike to do back there, and therefore it's going to feel like more horsepower coming out of the bike. So one of the big conversions that you'll see done on a sport bike right off the bat that many people do right away, and I've done it to just about every motorcycle I've had, and I'll talk about it here on this jigsaw behind us in a little bit, is a 520 chain conversion. You mix that with an aluminum sprocket in the rear, and wada bing, wada boom, bada bang, you've got a lot less rotational mass than you would have originally had on said motorcycle. So let's come down and kind of look around at a aluminum sprocket and a 520 chain conversion. Okay, I gotta ditch the chair so I can be down here where you guys can see me, but hopefully you can see me pretty well. This back here, as I was talking about earlier, is our back wheel of our motorcycle. We're looking at a Gixxer 750 here, and we are looking at a chain. The chain is very dirty. It's been sitting in the garage for a while, and we're not going to talk about that tonight. Please clean your chain. Clean and leave your chain. Very important. So once again, the chain goes forward. It goes up to the front sprocket. That front sprocket gets spun by the engine, and then the engine does all this work to make this rear wheel spin. So the less rotational mass I have back here, that being the mass it required, the amount of mass the engine has to spin for the bike to go. Now there's other things that can affect this. I would say that the amount of friction on the rear tires, depending on what type of surface you're on, different things like that, will also affect that. But realistically, the amount of mass you have back here, the more you have, the harder that engine's gonna have to work to make this thing go. And it's actually gonna go this way, hopefully, to get us to move forward. So if you can reduce the amount of weight, that's what we're talking about with mass, is the amount of weight back here, i.e. you get a lighter tire somehow, or you get a lighter wheel, or you get a lighter chain, or you get a lighter sprocket, or lighter internals on the wheel. You'll see that a lot of sport bike wheels are hollowed out. We don't need to be super solid. We're just gonna build something that is strong enough to put this power down and as light as possible. The lighter, the less mass, the less weight we have back here, the less work our engine has to do to make this thing go. Therefore, the more it can make it go. And that's just how that works. So When I talk about a 520 chain conversion, I'm talking about the width of the chain. I used to have a bunch of chain pieces lying around. I wish I still did. I would have shown them to you and shown you how much thicker a 525 chain is. Most sport bikes are going to show up with what's called a 525 chain, and that is the width of the chain. So the physical width, I believe that's in millimeters, is 525 millimeter thick chain. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, please, in the comments. And they come with some sort of rear sprocket. It might be aluminum, it might be steel, it might be lightweight, it might not be. It depends on the brand of motorcycle and where they're outsourcing their parts from. But if we pick up our motorcycle, we say, hey, what can I do to get less rotational mass? I can find lighter tires. Okay, I'm not familiar with any lightweight tire companies, so I don't really think that's an option. Let me know. Once again, down in the comments, all-wheel drive motorcycles and lightweight tire companies. That's what we're working on here today. So if you know about either of those things, please let me know. So that's kind of out of the picture. Next up is wheels. You want lighter wheels? You go to aluminum forged, you'll get a little bit lighter. Most sport bike wheels are already aluminum. You go to carbon fiber, 100% lighter. More dangerous? Arguably. A lot more expensive? Yes, 100%. Way more expensive. You don't want carbon fiber wheels. Maybe. If you want, go for it, please. I don't want carbon fiber wheels. I don't want to deal with them, and I can't afford them. So I'm not going to do carbon fiber wheels. So my next option here is really this sprocket on the rear of the bike, and then the chain connected to it. Which these chains, if you ever bought a new chain, they're actually pretty reasonably heavy. I think we've looked at this enough. We're going to go ahead and move up to a different frame real quick. Okay, now you might be asking, okay, we all get it. We need a 520 chain conversion. Why are we talking about this? Why are we even discussing it today? Or maybe you're not. And the truth is, realistically, this channel is built around having any and all info related to going to the track that you can possibly get. From the beginning, I don't even own a motorcycle, all the way to the end of I'm an avid club racer about to hit Moto America. That is what I'm trying to cover here. And I can't do everything all in one video. I try. But I think that an important topic was just talking about rotational mass. So just to kind of recap a little bit and then re-go over some things. The rotational mass is the amount of mass on the rear wheel of your motorcycle. Right here, we can see it right here on this awesome little sign. Also the O of a JK Moto. But that little O on the back of the motorcycle is your rear wheel. The amount of mass on that wheel is the amount of work that your motorcycle has to do. Now, other things that can help you go fast is, overall weight reduction of the bike, and also overall weight reduction of the person riding the bike can help you go faster, if you didn't know that. But it does directly relate to the work your engine is going to have to do. Work measured by horsepower, and horsepower meaning that if I lower the amount of work, the horsepower goes up. The actual number, not necessarily, but the amount that I can use, yes, 100%, because it's not using it to rotate the rear wheel on the bike. The rear wheel is what moves the bike outside of all-wheel drive motorcycles like we talked about. So a 520 chain conversion, I have them. I don't actually have an example of a 525 chain on any motorcycle in this garage at the moment. So I apologize for that. Stable B is all 520'd out. But a 520 chain conversion could be a huge play in that. While you're doing that, do some research. Maybe next week we'll just talk about sprockets again specifically, or go check out my other sprocket video and we'll kind of talk about the pros and cons of going up, down, in the rear, in the front, all of that. But a big part of that is going to a 520 chain and going to aluminum. Now, what I mentioned before was that you get less weight, less strength in the chain, and it's 100% true, right? The chain is made of different material. The chain is made of less material, so it's going to be less strong. Also, steel compared to aluminum is less strong, kind of. But the weight savings is huge, and as I mentioned, I haven't run into anyone yet that has broken a 520 chain because it was a 520 chain. Now, people losing chains because of bad maintenance practices or over tightening or loosening way too much or whatever, chain tightness, that's very important. I've heard of that. I've seen that. I almost ran into a chain on the track, but I've never heard of a negative towards a 520 chain conversion as far as this chain's ability to work. What I have heard is the longevity of the chain. Chains do stretch over time, they wear out over time, the teeth on your sprocket wear out over time, and I have heard some rumors that a 520 won't last as long, but I would also say that brake pads are wear parts, tires are wear parts, fuel is arguably a wear part. There are many parts on your motorcycle that I consider personally a wear part and something we should be checking on and replacing often, right? We flush our fluids every season. We do oil changes every however many hours or miles. I also have a video on oil changes. You might be changing your oil a little too often. Go check that video out. It's a very good video. got a lot of cool info in there that I didn't know. But you know, brake pads, we should be checking on those off and changing them out when they get down to their minimum wear, or even sooner, because we don't really want to be racing motorcycles at minimum wear. Tires, once those are worn out of grip, we change those out. Chains and sprockets are another wear part on your motorcycle. They are going to wear down. Whether you have a 520 or a 525 chain, they're going to wear down. The truth of it is when you start racing or tracking, even just tracking your motorcycle, your wear parts are going to wear down faster. You're using the motorcycle more. Your engine will arguably wear down faster. You're using it at the higher RPM it was built to be used at more. So if you want to trade off for longevity because you're out riding on the road and you don't want to have to do a chain and sprocket every year because you commute on that bike, I get it. Stick with a 525. It's great. Do a steel rear. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're tracking your motorcycle and or racing the motorcycle, you're going to be changing out wear parts pretty often anyway. And I've seen chains last 2, 3, even 4 seasons. No issues. If they're well taken care of, they last pretty long. Now, like I said, they'll stretch out. The teeth will wear down. It's important to keep track of all that. You definitely don't want to fling a chain while you're out on this track. And it is something they should look at during your tech inspection, so just be on the lookout for that. But if you haven't done a chain or sprocket change out on your motorcycle yet, and you're looking for something to do, and you want your motorcycle to feel faster or actually physically be faster, accelerate quicker, mostly acceleration, and you don't have a ton of money, so you can't afford the carbon fiber wheels, and you already did exhaust and tune, or you don't want to do exhaust and tune because it's not worth it. I'm just kidding, it's totally worth it. Chain and sprocket is where it's at. Like, that's the next step. That's the next thing to do. There's other things you can do to limit your rotational mass. We already talked about the wheels. They'll make lightweight brake discs, and I don't have one to show you because I kind of think they're a waste. But your rear brake, most people really only ever use it if you're going out into the grass, so you don't need a ton of surface area back there on that brake. So instead of having a whole bunch of little holes in it, they'll put some really big holes in it, and that way it's lighter weight, and that's also going to reduce your rotational mass. I'm sure they make lightweight bearings. They make low friction bearings. Those are pretty cool. Those will lower the friction back there, which is kind of like weight. Friction is area times weight times the friction coefficient gets you friction. Less weight, less friction. So less friction would mean less weight. Kind of, less rotational mass. That's a whole bunch of science I don't want to get into, but the moral of the story is a 520 chain conversion is 100% worth it on your motorcycle and shouldn't cost you a ton. And you can also kind of like caveat the less strength of the chain with just a better chain. I run a DID ERV7 chain. I did a bunch of reviews on, I didn't do a bunch of reviews. I read a bunch of reviews on chains. I did a bunch of research on it before I ordered those. And I put one on the Gixxer. I've loved it. It's been great. It's been a great chain. I've been running that for a few seasons with absolutely no issues with it. Once again, still take care of your chain, but DID is a great company. You're definitely gonna pay more for it. I've run a Vortex sprocket on the Gixxer for quite a while, front and rear. Those are both great. I got no issues with Vortex. They also make chains. The other cool part is you can style your bike. If you want a blue chain or a red chain or a yellow chain, you can get those. But I think the DID only comes in gold. But gold looks cool, nothing wrong with that. But anyway, DID, go check them out. ERV7, I'm not sponsored, so I'm not gonna sell them to you, but they're pretty good. When I bought the Aprilia, that's what was already on it. Already had the 520 done on it. So this is a very standard procedure for most sport bike riders, especially if they're out trying to get their bike to be a little bit faster. It's a cheap mod, it's easy to do, it's great. I've never heard anyone recommend against it. So this is my recommendation to you. If you haven't done a 520 chain conversion yet and you don't commute on the motorcycle and you're okay with that chain and sprocket being a wear part that might wear down a little bit quicker because you went down to a less strong chain, get yourself a 520 chain, do some 520 sprockets, do some research on the sprocket teeth, or go watch our sprocket video. Check it out. That's about all I got. And if anyone, please, if you have anything to say about chain sprockets, 520 conversions, anything that I might have messed up tonight, please throw it down in the comments so that everyone can hear about that. But go get yourself some less rotational mass on your motorcycle, make your motorcycle faster, make yourself faster, start winning races, make it to Moto America, maybe one day Moto GP. That's the goal on this channel. I'm never gonna make it there, but maybe some of you can. Either way, get your bike out of the track, make your rotational mass less, and be faster. Wise words from me. Hope you guys have a good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.